Good day everyone, my name is Cesar D. Guzmala Jr. So for today's video, I will discuss where the first mass happened in the Philippines. Is it in Masao or Limasawa? Where was the first mass held here in the Philippines? There is a controversy regarding the site of the first mass ever celebrated on the Philippine soil. What is really Limasawa or Butuan? So based on Figafetta, the Italian chronicle of the Magellan expedition, tells us that it was held at Easter Sunday, the 31st of March 1521 on an island called Masawa. Two native chieftains were in attendance, the Raha of Masawa and the Raha of Butuan. After the mass, Parte went up a little hill and planted a wooden cross upon its summit. In this case, the subject of the controversy is the identity of Masawa. There are two conflicting claims regarding this. One school of thought points to the small island south of Leyte, whereas the other school rejects that claims and points instead a beach called Masao at the mouth of Agusan River in northern Mindanao, near the village, now the city of Butuan. Judging from the facts presented and basing on the information and evidence which I have researched, I affirm that the first mass in the Philippines was held in Limasawa. So Limasawa, the first evidence to support my argument in accordance to the accounts of Pigafetta and Francisco Albo, who are eyewitness of Magellan's voyage boat, stated that the first mass in the Philippines took place on an island called Masawa in Albo's account and Masawa in Pigafetta's account. They both asserted that from the island of Homonhon, they went westward toward the island of Leyte and turned to a southwest direction to reach this island based on his geographic location provided by Albo and Pigafetta. The island of Limasawa in southern Leyte is the counterpart. So, in Masa Butuan, on the contrary, the statement of Father Fernando Collins, a historian, in his work Labor Evangelica, he asserted that Magellan went to Butuan and there he celebrated the first mass and erected a cross. And to support this, Antonio Pigafetta testified that he gave a gift of certain things to the Queen Mother of France, Louise of Savory, and mother of Francis I. Gian Battista Ramosio. Mentioned that a copy of Pigafetta account was given to Louis of Savory, whereas these manuscripts were translated to French by Jacques Fabre and imprinted by Simon D. Collins. And also there was a monument erected during 1872 to commemorate the first mass in Butuan on April 8, 1521. So I would like to point out, based on Father Collins' account, Magellan and his men went to Cebu on April 1521. But in the monument inscription, the first mass was held on April 1521 on Butuan. It's not possible to go back to Butuan from Cebu in just one day on the same day of the mass we're in. Butuan is 236 kilometers away from Cebu and the ship back then were not that fast enough. So, on the same day, the mass, a cross was erected on the summit of the mountain, and according to Francis Albo, at the summit of mountain, you can see three islands from the west and southern west, whereas Butuan can be seen in a north direction based on a topographical detail given by Albo and Pigafetta. I describes the present Limasawa. Secondly, Magellan did not go to Butuan to meet the king there. According to Pigafetta and Albo, while in the islands of Masawa, they met two chieftains, one of the chieftains of Masawa and one of the chieftains of Butuan, who was said to be visiting the island. This opposed to the book written Historia de Mindanao y Jolo, written by Francisco Combes, who worked a missionary in the Philippines. He stated that Magellan went to Butuan because they heard the king in Butuan is more powerful that they wanted to meet him. It was said that their expectations were satisfied by the king. As a result, they planted a cross on a hill in a solemn ceremony as sign of future alliance. In Francisco Collins' work, the first mass occurred the same day they planted a cross. In this case, I hereby agreed to Pigafetta's and Albo's account because they are eyewitness and considered as a first-hand account. Pigafetta's works is the most detailed and reliable source of information regarding Magellan's voyage and compared to claims stated by second-hand account. So although the evidence presented came from only two accounts, those evidence are considered as primary source. The corroboration information and statements on those two presented, while the pro-Butuan claims are mostly based from second-hand accounts. Even though their claims are supported by other historians, the corroboration of information and statements are inconsistent the evidence. So ultimately, the National Historical Institute led by the Ambet Ocampo recognized the historical records of Limasawa in southern Leyte as the venue of the first mass held on March 31, 1521. So that's all. Thank you.